Alright, so today we're going to do a little test on the Plasti Dip Dissolver from dipyourcar.com. These are center caps from one of my Trans Ams, and this Plasti Dip is probably somewhere between 2 and 3 years old, and as you can tell, it's a little petrified. It's not really peelable anymore. You scratch it with your nail, you might get a little bit off, but it doesn't come off in the sheets that you would want it to come off in, the way it's designed to. I'm assuming I applied it too thin for how long it was on there, but this is what Dip Dissolver is for, so we're going to give it a try. And like I said, this is older Plasti Dip, so it's had time to age. It's been out in the sun. It was never sprayed with any of the UV protectant stuff, so this is definitely a good time to test it, I think. And I'm going to spray either another center cap or something similar of a similar material with a can of Plasti Dip, lay it on thin, and see how well it takes off fresh Plasti Dip as well as the old petrified stuff like this. Alright, so here we have another center cap, can of black Plasti Dip. I'm going to go ahead and start with just a really light coat, just a tack coat just to get it going, just kind of as they instruct. Oh, this can's clogged. Let me fix that. Alright, the can's unclogged now, so yeah, just a tack coat, just enough to kind of get it wet so the next coats will stick. We're going to do that properly. We're just going to not put on the amount of Plasti Dip recommended. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes since the last clip, so we're going to go ahead and add some more. Lay it on a little heavier. Exactly how you're not supposed to do it. And I'm doing it this way because even though it's not what you're supposed to do, I have a feeling this is what most people do. We'll give about 20 more minutes to a third coat, and I would say that's probably good enough coverage at that point to go ahead and give it a day to cure and then try the PDS remover. Alright, so it's now sticky to the touch and mostly dry, so we'll give it the last coat before we let it cure. And just as a reminder, I'm aware that I'm applying this improperly, but again, that's the point. We're trying to do it wrong to really test the effectiveness of the PDS dissolver spray. Okay, so now it's totally dry. Looks pretty normal for Plasti Dip, especially when it's fresh, nice and shiny. But you can see, especially towards the bottom, the coverage is a little thin, but that's what we wanted in this case. This should be a good piece to test out the Dip Dissolver with. I see Dip Dissolver, we're going to give it a try. On the right is our control. The left are the 4 that we really need to get stripped. So we're going to see how it goes. We're going to apply one full wet coat, let it sit for about 3 minutes, come back, do another full wet coat. We don't have a power washer, so we're just going to use a hose on jet and see how it goes. This is just a citrus-based cleaner, I believe. It's very orange, but apparently it is flammable. So I guess we'll see. It smells like fast orange, which generally is a pretty decent cleaner. Citric acid in general is a good cleaner, and this is supposed to be made with primarily organic materials. So hopefully that's enough. I'll come back in 3 minutes. I gave these a little more than 3 minutes to soak, but full wet coat again. I can definitely see that it's slightly more liquid than it was before. I think the idea is this turns it into a liquid and you spray it off. But yeah, like there, I just blew through the Plasti Dip already, so it's definitely soft, at least on the control. 3 minutes have gone by. Let's see how bad it comes off. I'm gonna go ahead and finish these off, and then I'll show an after picture. And, definitely good results. Probably would have been a little better if I did a more uniform spray pattern, or even just another coat, or after I wash it off, you know, if I do another one, then I bet this would come off pretty clean pretty quickly. But again, I didn't use a pressure washer. I just arbitrarily sprayed the dissolver on these and tried to get results from it. So in a more uniform and organized fashion, I'm sure it would work. But again, I kind of tried to do this as wrong as possible just to test its ability in a way. But you can see it's still wet. Like if I wipe my finger along it, I get liquid plasti dip on my fingers and stuff. But yeah, I mean, for how thin this was and how long it took, it definitely came off pretty well. Again, another coat or a power washer probably would do wonders, but it definitely works well and definitely is worth the money.